Good morning, Heathlands, and welcome to week 41 of Heathlands at Home Extended Broadcast
with regular mascots Minnie Beanie
and Sussy Susie.
This week, so far, we have some changes coming up to our schedule next week, so listen carefully for the changes.
The first change starting next week will be our morning meetings social, which is changing time from 10 a.m. to 9:50.
Or as we like to call it, the morning shunter. This change is so all the class courses can start their sessions at 10 a.m. sharp. No later, no earlier, sharp.
So far this week we've had
Nick's exercise session on Monday at 11:15.
Art Live with Helen Tuck was on Monday at 1 p.m. This week making tie-dye squares.
On Tuesday we had
Dance to Heal with Wendy at 10:30.
This was the last live Zoom session with Dancing to Heal for the time being. But we still have one more seated version on Facebook this Thursday though.
And Heathlands Quiz of the Week at 1 p.m. and Daniel and Connor won.
Well done to you, Daniel and Connor.
Say the names right.
Cheap.
Anyway, Heathlands Quiz of the Week will be moving to a Thursday afternoon from next week.
We will have a few more changes to the schedule coming up next week, but don't worry, we will give you a full rundown on Friday Live at 1:30 on Friday.
Coming up today from Heathlands at Home.
On Facebook at 11 after us is Workout with Maria, getting jiggy with it.
Getting jiggy indeed. Live lunch at 12 p.m. to 12:45 p.m.
Cooking Social now presented with the class session at 1.
Tune in at 1 p.m. to find out more about what they'll be doing.
Jackie will still be presenting along this time with Miriam and the rest of the class cooking course.
Coming up right now, we have
a guest presenter with a craft to share with you.
So far, we have had videos from myself, Helen Tuck, Helen Walsh, and Susan.
Today we have a video from one of those people, but who could it be?
Hello Heathlands at Home, it's Helen here with another origami instruction for you, and this week with a little bit of difference. So as you can see, this week we have a pair of scissors. Now not an awful lot of people know that with traditional origami that comes from Japan, quite a lot of the traditional folds include paper cutting. So this week we're making this cute little dragonfly, and we use the scissors right at the end just to do 2 little slits to open up his wings. Now I've only made this once before, so I can't say that I'm an expert on making this dragonfly, but what we'll do is we'll have a go and see if we can learn. So I'm going to move my scissors out the way and put my example dragonfly up to one side, and we'll make a start. So first things first, the materials that you need are a 15 by 15 centimetre piece of origami paper and a pair of scissors. And only other thing you need is your hands and a hard surface to work on. So I'll write those instructions up of what you need, and I'll just pause for a moment if you need to write them down, and then we'll make a start. So, as with last week's fold, what we're going to do is we're going to start off by folding our paper in half along the diagonal. This time though, we're not going to open it up. We're going to turn our work so that the closed end is facing away from us and the open end is facing towards us. What we're going to do now is we're going to take these outer points up at the top and we're going to fold them down to meet the bottom point. So we're going to make an even smaller square. And as always, nice crisp creases to try and keep our work neat. Fold that down. So we should have a smaller square which has got two flaps coming down over to itself. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our two most outer points again with our open end facing towards us and our closed end facing away. We're going to make these points come to the middle. So if I just turn my work, so I'll turn this up, making sure that those edges meet, and we're making that kite shape again. So there's one side turned up to meet in the middle, and we'll turn our work around again to make it easier for us to work with, folding that side up so that the edges meet in the middle. Now, the next thing we're going to do with this is these sides that we folded up, we want to tuck them inside of itself. So if you open this out completely and then turn this in to meet the middle, and we want that point to come back down. So you might have to make tiny adjustments with your folds and make sure everything's still crisp, but I hope you can see that. From there, we've opened it back out, and what we're doing is we're tucking it inside of itself. So we've got this long point that comes down to meet the point nearest us. So we're going to do that the other way. So we're going to fold that out, lift the flap up, and then turn it in on itself. And you have to turn that crease back over on itself. And again, working on a nice hard flat surface, making sure that those creases are still crisp and nice and neat. So, now that we've got these two very pointy kind of flaps facing towards us, I'll show you the other side and show you how flat that is. So, what we need to do is we need to turn them out on themselves. So what we want to do is imagine that there's a line running from the two side points, and it's at that point that we want to fold the flaps up and over. So we want to try and make them as horizontal as possible. I'm going to turn one up, make sure it's nice and creased, and then turn the other one up. So hopefully you can see we've now got the beginnings of our dragonfly's body and our dragonfly's wings. The next step is to turn over our work, and what we need to do is these side edges here facing us nearest the bottom, we want to fold those in over again like we did on the other side. Now this bit's a bit tricky because this wing is going to try and come up on itself. So what we need to try and do is fold along that centre line, and then when we get to that point we need to kind of allow the paper to tuck itself up. Now don't worry if this side isn't terribly neat, because this is the reverse. So I'll try and show you that again on this side. So we're turning this up to meet in the middle, and we crease down this bottom edge here. And what we want to do as this comes up with it, we want to ease this bit out so that the wing should lie nice and flat. Now I apologise for the light flickering. I think a fly has got trapped inside one of our light fittings. I will try and fix it for the next video. Hang on. I'm going to reevaluate that statement. I think one of our studio lights has actually just blown a bulb, which is why it was flickering. So I've turned it off and we'll just carry on the way we are. So now that we've folded down the wings, what we want to do is we want to take our pair of scissors. Now, I hope you can see. So the top edge of the wing here, what we want to do is we want to open it up and we're going to cut down this edge here. Maybe if I turn it back around that way. These edges just here, here and here, we want to cut down them. So I'm going to take my pair of scissors, I'm going to insert them into that little pocket, and I'm going to try and very carefully and neatly just cut down through the paper. There. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. As neatly as I can. Sorry, I went off camera there. Cut down and through. So, once we've cut down, all we want to do is fold those wing flaps down. And that should give us our lovely dragonfly. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and we will be back in a couple of weeks with more. Bye guys!
As you've seen this week, we had Helen Tuck showing you how to make origami dragonflies.
What and who we will have next time then? I wonder.
Still to come this week we have
Sports Fanatics live social group on Thursday at 1:30 with Jackie. Sports Fanatics will be moving to a Tuesday afternoon at 1:30 from next week.
Ooh. Also on Thursday we have
The last Dancing to Heel with Wendy seated at 10:30.
I thought that was going to go on there. The Dancing Heel may come back in the future. We will keep you informed of any changes to the schedule.
Signing this week with Paula and Mark on Thursday at 11.
Ethan's book club with Jeanette and Susan is on Thursday too.
So, and on Friday we have the last Tai Chi with Annette at 10:30. Our Tai Chi sessions may also come back in the future too. You never know.
Which brings us to the main event of our Heathlands at Home broadcast.
The most popular part of the Heathlands at Home broadcast.
Have you again another brilliant new book to read to you?
And this week I may have to make an exception here. Sarah, you're reading it.
No, you're reading it.
You read it.
You have to read it. Go on.
No, you read it.
No, Mark, you're reading it. Come on. Don't be afraid. Come on. Come on.
I want cake afterwards. And tea. It's the most popular series we've had on the Heathlands at Home extended broadcast. I give to you the dinosaur that pooped the past. If I'm not here next week, you'll know why. Some grannies are old. Some grannies are great. And Danny's was turning 1008. What? He sang Happy Birthday with Dinosaur 2, then asked to go out. There was playing to do. You cannot go out till your plates are all clean, said Granny, while serving up sludge that was green. There were broccoli, eggs, and hard Brussels sprouts. Why? The dinosaur slopped the lot into its mouth. Then in the 2 seconds when Gran wasn't looking, it ate Danny's pile of awful Gran's cooking. Sarah, you're eating all my vegetables. Well done, Granny said. You've eaten enough. Now you can go out and do awesome, cool stuff. They ran straight to the tree with a swing underneath, but it hadn't been swung since Gran lost her teeth. Weird reason, but okay. They swung back and forth, they went up, they went down. Hiya, Dan said. Let's go all the way round. But this wasn't an ordinary swing. It had powers. Powers to turn back the minutes and hours. They counted to 3 and pushed hard off the ground. They looped, and they looped, and they looped, and looped, and looped, and they turned time around. And looped, and looped. Their heads went all dizzy, time started to bend. So Danny held on to his dinosaur friend. Flashes and fizzes and sparky squeaks. They swung past the Romans, Egyptians, and Greeks. Then with a crack, the swing snapped in half. They crash-landed into a land from the past, surrounded by trees of Jurassical size, being watched through the leaves by mysterious eyes. Then 3 baby dinos jumped down awesomely. They called themselves Dino Dudes, A, B, and C. Dudes. They liked playing games like Stackety Stack, where Dino Dudes, A, B, climb on C's back. Then suddenly, Dinosaur's tummy made grumbles. Yay. Tummy made grumbles and rumbles that made the ground crumble. But grounds do not crumble for any old reason. Grounds only crumble in volcano season. We sprung back in time. We were trying to play, said Danny to Dino Dudes B, C, and A. We need to get back. We need to leave fast. We need to get everyone out of the past. But Danny and Dinosaur's only way back was looping through time on the swing they had snapped. The lava was coming. The lava was hot, even hotter than Granny's old veg cooking pot. And so, without thinking, B, C, and A stacked themselves up like the game that they play, which two can play. This wasn't a game, it was saving the day. Saving the day the Dino Dude way. They flipped and they jumped through the jungle with ease, surfing the lava on lava-proof leaves, gathering all the things that they would need to fix the time swing at the speediest speed. Wax from the bees, sap from the trees, a tusk that fell off when an old mammoth sneezed. I don't know. They bashed it together with stegosaur teeth, let's say glue, while dodging explosive eruptions beneath. The swing had been fixed, but the dinosaur group were now far too heavy to time travel loop. Dan started to worry, then started to panic. The ground underneath was now hot and volcanic. They all started crying. They cried and they cried. They cried and their tears instantly vaporized. Then something went ping in the dinosaur's mind. Oh no. It thought of a way to loop forward in time. With broccoli eggs in the dinosaur's guts, its brain brewed a plan involving its butt. It knew there was only one thing it could do. To get back to the future, it needed to...
You guessed it.
Poo!
The best part in all the books.
No, it's the worst part. The poop came out fast. It had broccoli power. And it lost them 88 miles per hour. It pooped out a pile of Grant's soggy egg veg. Oh no. With Dino Dudes A, B, and C on its head. It pooped, and it looped them all forward in time, away from volcanoes and hot lava slime. The Romans and the Trojans were covered in poo. Oh. They all got a taste of Gran's broccoli soup. While looping through Egypt, it pooped out a pile, which made a poop pyramid next to the Nile. It plopped out the sprouts. It spun into smelly and looped out the last piece of poop in its belly. Oh. They fell out of time. They made it back home. But Danny and Dinosaur weren't on their own. Dino Dudes A, B, and C were there too. They travel through time on the broccoli poo. Oh. They all started cheering and jumping around. It seemed like new dinosaur friends had been found. And just when they had all the veg they could take, Birthday Gran served up her broccoli cake. You wouldn't find that on Great British Bake Off, I can tell you that.
I bet Paul Holly would be disgusted. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that.
We are back again the same time next week with another awesome book to read you. Hopefully no more of this, please.
No more of this malarkey. Have a great rest of your week. Stay safe and stay happy. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.